So going into this year, Chase Brown was touted as going to be one of the best running backs for this year. A lot of people expected him to have a blowout year, a breakout year, and just absolutely dominate. And because of the poor offensive line play and because of the poor, Zach Taylor play calling, it has not materialized at all. So today what I wanted to look at is where would he be the best, right? So starting off right away, these numbers you see on your screen right here are EPA. EPA is expected points added, and looking at them, they're not looking too good. If he ran to the outside, the left-hand outside, it would be negative 0.311. If he ran it between Orlando Brown and Fairchild, it'd be negative 553. If he ran it between Fairchild and Teddy K, it'd be negative 6.669. If you ran between Teddy K and Jalen Rivers, it would be negative 0.072. If you ran between right guard and right tackle, which is Rivers and Mims, it would be negative 0.109. And finally, bouncing it to the outside on the right-hand side, it would be negative 0.181. Not looking too good. Not looking too good at all. Now, where would he be the best? Well, we're about to play Detroit very shortly, a couple of days. So let's look at Detroit. So Detroit, obviously, not the greatest when it looks like left tackle and left guard, running it in that orientation, or running it from the outside the right tackle. But everywhere else would be quite successful if we look at this. So if he bounces out to the left-hand side, 0.123. If he bounces it between the middle of the center and the left guard, 0.059. If he bounces it from the center, center to the right guard, it would be a 0.527. And then obviously between the right guard and right tackle, a 0.131. So would Detroit be the best option? Well, let's look at some other options as well. Denver. Looks like the best situation possible would be the left-hand outside between the guards or, pretty much just right up the middle. Looks like the left tackle and left guard area would not be the greatest. And then trying to bounce it on the outside of the right tackle just simply is not it. Dallas Cowboys. They got other than the center and left guard and right tackle, pretty dang good. Carolina, you bounce on the tackles, you're pretty much cooking with grease. Arizona, just kind of that inside just does not look great at all. Let's go ahead and go. We're just gonna go through every single team here. So right now, Detroit is probably the best place for him to go if he did go to a new team. To be the most successful, I'm saying. We're not going to trade him, obviously. But to be the most successful, it would be Detroit. Atlanta, okay. We got Baltimore, which as long as you're not running it to the left-hand inside, you're pretty much good. I think they got Linderbaum at center. I think the left guard is Daniel Felly. And then the left tackle is Ronnie Stanley. So, yeah, it's probably the best to run it to the right-hand side if you're running for Baltimore there. Buffalo is good pretty much across the board except for that left guard, left tackle inside position. How about Cleveland? Cleveland, you always find a way to make us feel better. All right, Cleveland. They're not as awful as us, but they're definitely, you run it on the outside of the right tackle, inside left tackle, left guard, you're cooking with some grease, but outside of that, Chicago, pretty much run it to the right-hand side. You run it to the left-hand side, you're going to get absolutely stonewalled. We already looked at Carolina, Denver. We already looked at Detroit. Let's look at Green Bay. So Green Bay, obviously Green Bay does have some injuries on the offensive line, but still Josh Jacobs is able to do very effective work because look at these freaking blocking numbers. Absolutely amazing. KC, who can't run the ball, ironically enough. They're really bad at running the ball. Left tackle, left guard is their struggle point. Center, right guard is a struggle point, and right guard. So anything inside, pretty much. Except for center, left guard. Anything inside is going to be a problem. Jacksonville. I will say it's also amazing looking at these teams, right? Comparing it to us. And just seeing, like, these other teams, obviously, they're not perfect, right? No team is perfect in the league. But you look at all these other options, you're like, wow, this team really struggles here. This team really struggles here. And then you look at ours, and it's like, we struggle everywhere. Like, there isn't, like, a select area where, like, these other teams, like, even the Texans are considered the worst offensive line in the game right now. Like, still, outside left tackle, outside right tackle, between the center and right guard, like, even with their offensive line being considered one of the worst offensive lines in the game, they still put up pretty dang good EPA numbers when it comes to handing the ball off, which is insanely crazy to say. But anyway, we got Chargers here. We got the Raiders. We're the only team with all red. I just realized that. I don't know why I just realized that, but we are the only team with all red. Even the Giants, who, again, also have a struggling offensive line, at least they still have a green. Saints. Man, I feel bad. I feel bad for Chase Brown. I really do. Oh, just realized we have another one over here. Minnesota, which, does that mean... I think I covered the Rams. Yeah, I think I covered the Rams. Yeah, and then I covered Houston. All right. Just keep rocking and rolling, because it just goes to show, man, like... not what I wanted. There we go. It just goes to show, as we go throughout here, it's like, man, this is atrociously bad for us. I think Detroit would be the best area for Chase Brown to be successful, just looking at these numbers. They have the most greens, I feel like, but yeah, it's rough. It really is rough. You got Tampa Bay, who don't run into the left-hand side, and then you got the 49ers, which, yeah. So, there is a thing, and I do want to point this out real fast. Shout out to Ray Carpenter, by the way, for posting this. Appreciate it very, very much, Ray Carpenter, for posting this. But I will say, across the board, looking at this from like a more top-down angle, the Jets are actually one of the best for this, which is ironically enough. Who else we got? It would be the Jets. The Lions are one of the best. Although the Lions do have 2 reds. The Packers are one of the best too. So if he went and sat behind Josh Jacobs, he would probably be very successful behind him. I think that's pretty much it. Buffalo Bills are one of the best as well. But Baltimore is not the worst. Cowboys are really good as well. Again, look at this, right? This is us, right? All red. Look at all the other teams. Like, again, even the Seahawks, who also have issues. And I just realized I don't think we looked at the Seahawks or the Steelers. But here's the Seahawks and the Steelers. But even with all these other teams having issues, the Seahawks are actually really, really close to us. Low-key, the Seahawks are actually really close to us. Like, they're not as bad as us, but they're definitely in that ballpark range. Yeah, they're actually struggling greatly. Which I also posted this yesterday in my community tab. Actually, no, I did not post that one. I posted, if you didn't see the yesterday in my community tab, I posted a funny meme of what Zach Taylor would do or say when it comes to the whole... You guys probably, if you've watched any length of football over a Bengals football over the years, you remember this one right here, right? You got option A is Penny Sewell, draft Penny Sewell. Option B is draft Jamar Chase. And the whole thing now is like either option, you're going to see Joe Burrow get sacked. And I added the little thing over here that says accountability. and it's Duke Tobin and Zach Taylor, right? Now the top one looks like Duke Tobin's raising hand, like, yeah, accountability. And then the second one is like he's looking at Zach Taylor like, wait, accountability? I don't know why I thought that was funny, but that was hilarious. Guys, tell me down below your thoughts, opinions. See you guys next one.